Yes. Good evening and a warm welcome to all the participants of today's program and our President Ji and MGK and other team members. We have with us today a very, very interesting and distinguished scholar and who having a multi-dimensional personality, Mr. Shivakumar G V. Welcome, sir. A brief introduction about Shivakumar sir. He did his Bachelor of Engineering from Surat in Gujarat. Later, he did MTech from IIT Delhi in computer science. And he joined the computer science field. And he was with Bangalore-based Mindtree organization. They are also pioneers and done a lot of work in the field of computer science. And he's presently the director of IKS Changemakers INDICA. Let me explain what is IKS. That is Indian Knowledge System. So there is no limit to the knowledge. There are so many things which we do not know. What we think we know is only little, a minuscule percentage. So this Indian knowledge system brings in a lot of various concepts from different fields. It can be from the technological field or from the spiritual field or whatever it is. Sir has been a pioneer in this field, and he has been conducting podcasts in IKS, and he is by himself developed an INDICA, which is an organization based from Hyderabad, wherein a lot of enlightened persons, they contribute to the Indian knowledge system. He has developed the 6C program, ROC, that is champion, connect, coach, contribute, collaborate, and celebrate. And he will be explaining about the 6C development, overall personality development, and having both knowledge of Indian mythology and also technology, which are two different galaxies. I was explaining to sir. So, but everything is in the same universe. So today's talk will be on development or developing personal vision through Purushartha, which is from our own Indian classic epic, Mahabharata, what Lord Krishna, because Mahabharata is religion matra. Apart from religion, there are so many things to learn in Mahabharata and Ramayana about the politics, about the knowledge, overall development. So we are very eager to listen to his talk today. And I would request people to mute their phones. And if they want to interact with sir, you can raise your hands later, or you can also, at the end of the program, we will be giving some time. You can talk to sir directly. Our president, sir, Narayan Swami sir, has just arrived. I also take this opportunity to welcome him and say a few words. And later on, the stage will be taken over by our today's guest of honor, Shivakumar G V. Narayan Swami sir.
Thank you. It's a very interesting topic, and thanks to Ram for selecting the topic. Great.
Voice contact.
Yeah, no.
I think there is some audio problem, technical problem.
Oh, it is now. Am I audible?
Now, yes, now we are able to listen to you, sir.
I just want to thank Mr. G V Shivakumar, and I know he is a very expert in Indian knowledge system, and we are looking forward to listen to him. And I thank all the participants. Also, please ask your friends and colleagues to join. This is very interesting. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you,
Yes,
Shri Narayan.
Yes,
and thank you, Shri Vasudevan for a nice introduction. So I'll give a small brief about INDICA as an organization. We are an institute for Indian knowledge systems, culture, and traditions. We have several centers such as Indica Books, Indica Moksha covers which covers Vedanta, Indica Yoga, which is dedicated for yoga, Indica Today, which is our magazine, online magazine, Indica Courses, which offers more than 135 courses on different aspects of Indian knowledge systems. And our academic programs, we conduct online conferences, online symposiums, in-person conferences also. And the Changemakers program, which I run. We also have a pictures program that creates Indic films. And we also have several centers like Ayurveda, Indian Language Studies, Center for Embodied Knowledge, Institute of Indic Wisdom, which offers managerial programs in from Indian knowledge systems. We have a Center for Soft Power Studies, and so on. So this is the vision of Shri Harikiran Vadlamani, who is a Hyderabad-based businessman who also, he operates between Singapore and Hyderabad. He started INDICA in the year 2015, as a means of supporting an institute in Tenali called Tenali Pariksha, which conducts Shastra advanced certification. So over a period of time, he created many Indica centers, such as the one that is listed here. The academic head of our institution is Kulapati Shri Nagaraj Paturi Garu. He also works from Hyderabad, and we are several of us. And I have joined as Shri Vasudevan ji just mentioned. I was an IT professional for 25 years at Mindtree, and I've joined Indica 1.5 years back. But I've been associated with Indica for the last 4 or 5 years in different capacities. In fact, I curated a book called Arya, which was published by Indica, just commissioned by Indica and published by Indica. And I've also been writing a lot of articles on Mahabharata and other civilizational issues on Indica today, which is how my journey with Indica began, with the focus on Mahabharata and Purushartha are two of my important focus areas. Indica as an institute is, in the context of advancing Indian knowledge systems. We believe that Indian tradition, Indian wisdom is concerned about the well-being of not just one being but all beings, and we in the Indian knowledge systems, it's not just the textual knowledge but the practitioner and embodied knowledge also we equally anchor and support. Our 6C program is associated with Changemakers. One of my important objectives is to connect to all change makers in the nation through Indian knowledge systems and create learning opportunities for them, that is the coaching, and we create a platform for them to be visible. We sometimes collaborate with them to create projects on Indian knowledge systems. Sometimes we contribute to their work on Indian knowledge systems, and finally we celebrate. So we champion them, we connect each other, we create coaching opportunities, we contribute to their work, we collaborate with them, and we also celebrate their work when it realizes to fruition. So that is the 6C program, and we believe that the resurgence of the civilization will be through change makers who are trying to bring dharma into action through Indian knowledge systems. That is the IKS Changemakers program. Today, I thank Sambhashane for giving me this opportunity to present what is the power of Purushartha. So the tagline that I give for Purushartha is, for an individual, I should achieve maximum possible artha kama, so that others can also realize their maximum possible artha kama. This is the operative principle of Purushartha. So it is not my own artha kama. So I must be conscious of the fact that my Artha Kama has limits, because others are also pursuing their Artha Kama, and there must be a dynamic balance between the two. This really is the essence of our civilization, and just this one maxim, this one principle has created a huge knowledge system in India. So let me introduce some concepts and how they are interrelated. I hope this slide is visible clearly, although the font is small. See, Indian life is organized at three levels: Adibhautika, Adidaivika, and Adhyatmika. The dynamic of life in India is cyclical. So we say that Srishti Sthiti Laya operates in a cycle through Rita. Rita is the most foundational concept in Rigveda, where it says there is a universal principles of the cosmic order that governs this universe, that operates through Srishti Sthiti Laya. However, a man pursues fourfold goals of life, which today we will talk about: Purushartha, Dharmartha, Kama, Moksha. Now, this dharma derives its meaning from Rita. This is important. This is often missed. So, what is for the universe is Rita, is dharma for the individual and the collective of individuals. So, what is moksha for us is sthiti for the universe, is operating at the adhyatmika level. What is dharma is at the adidaivika level. Artha kama are at the srishti laya, which is at the adibhautika level. Now, this is also corresponded to by the Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. These five spheres in our a human being is visualized at these five levels. It's not just Annamaya Kosha plus Pranamaya Kosha. So the modern knowledge systems does not cover all these in its completion. It is very sketchy at higher levels and more intense at lower levels. So this Anandamaya Kosha corresponds to Moksha, Sthiti and Adhyatmika. Similarly, we have Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, where Sattva is at the Sthiti level. Similarly, we have Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, where Jnana Shakti is at the highest level. So, and we have 5 yajnas and 5 rinas. We know that Manushya Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, Pitra Yajna, Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna operates at the is for the purpose of Sthiti Moksha. So you can organize the collection of concepts in Indian knowledge systems and all of them will correspond to Adibhautika, Adidaivika, Adhyatmika in one way or the other, including yoga. Even something like speech, is at 4 levels in India. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikari. Vaikari is what we see, but there are higher order levels of speech. So this is the complex way in which Indian knowledge systems has pursued world. But there is simplicity in that because all of them are operating at equivalent levels. So the point to reflect upon here is that the simple Dharmartha Kama Moksha is not standing in isolation. It is standing in relationship with all these concepts, which we all know, but we kind of look at them in a very disparate manner. But today, in our presentation, we will focus on Dharmartha Kama Moksha, where Dharma derives its meaning from Rita, and Moksha for the individual is nothing but Sthiti for the universe. You would have seen that in many stotras, you would say that Srishti Sthitilaya Karini Rupe, Devatas are, many higher order Devatas are, described as Srishti Sthitilaya Kartru Karana. But we will deep dive into Purushartha. As we all know, generally we say Dharmartha Kama Moksha, which means through Dharma, create your Artha, fulfill your Kama, and, but strive for Moksha. But I've just represented it differently here, just to say that Artha is not just wealth, it is multidimensional wealth, health, wealth, security, purpose of life. That which creates stability in life is Artha. Kama is the collection of all desires and fascinations of a human being. Dharma, of course, we have realized that artha and kama alone cannot sustain, because it will clash and crash. Hence dharma is required, because it is to create a balanced pursuit of artha and kama. At the same time, it is the Indian wisdom that pursuit of dharma is possible only when you are in parallel having some pursuit of moksha. That's why we need a minimum number of sannyasins in this universe, even for others to lead their homely life, grahastha life, very well. So we recognize this fourfold pursuit in life, and we realize that this needs to be in balance. Dharma sustains artha and kama, but moksha itself sustains dharma. Without enough number of people pursuing moksha, it is not even dharma for rest of the society will fall. So we realize that the pursuit of artha of two can clash, of two individuals, of two families, of two communities, of two societies, of two states, of two nations. They all clash at all times, and that's natural. And hence dharma is needed to balance this clash across all entities. And we need the pursuit of moksha in order to balance dharma itself. This interdependence and this clash resolution itself requires an organization of life, which is designed for this resolution. Fundamentally, Purushartha is about the well-being of not just one being, but all beings. But also not just for today or tomorrow, but all times. That means there is an intergenerational dimension. Your Arthakama pursuit cannot hurt the Arthakama pursuit of future beings also. That is the care that India has always taken. Fundamentally, it's a framework of life enabling fulfillment in a most equitable and sustainable manner for an entire society. So, but fundamentally, this is beauty in the beautiful today, but sustainable tomorrow. Pursuit of beauty of today cannot harm tomorrow. The present, but without losing the sight of the future. So fundamentally, the concern of dharma and moksha is to create sustainable artha and kama for humanity for all times. So that is why sannyasa is important, because that pursuit of moksha sustains future grahastha. And grahastha today sustains today's sannyasa through dharma, artha and kama. This is the balance. This slide I'll skip a bit. This is, moksha is an axiom of life in Bharat. That is, the moksha is not something that you can mathematically prove that it is necessary. But experience of life has established this, that this is the most important pursuit, that even if minimum number of people are not pursuing, then it is going to harm the society. So, and there is a detailed exposition of moksha in Vedanta, and which is not the core concern of this presentation. But this firm faith has not just enabled the pursuit of moksha, but also has altered the way we think about material life. That is important. Without the pursuit of moksha, without the belief in moksha, our pursuit of material life itself would have been significantly different. This ability to see sacredness in all aspects of life comes from the axiom of moksha. So we consider rivers sacred, parvatas sacred, forests sacred, water is extremely sacred for us. All of that comes in the transcendence towards moksha, that because the sacred experience fundamentally is in the pursuit of moksha, which has flowed back into all material. And hence the way we use material, we create material, we deal with material, we pursue material, we pursue pleasure, everything has significantly changed. Our pursuit of joy, dance also is sacred because of this axiom of moksha. So this is not a disconnected reality. It's an entity, it's a concept, it's an experience that has flowed itself into every single aspect of our civilization. So this also a slide I'll kind of touch upon. So in the fourfold pursuit of Purushartha, how it has kind of created a framework of life that has an internal restraint in it. That is what this framework is. If time permits, we can come back to this framework. Otherwise, this framework itself will take 15-20 minutes. But the essence of this is that everything that we do must have a sense of sacred. And consequently, our Arthakama pursuits also, has that dimension. So through Arthakama, we seek the Dharma and Moksha. Fine, this is the philosophical exposition, but the common man kind of, understands this in a very intuitive manner and without all the theoretical complications. That's the beauty of our life also. So for the individual, it is very simple. I have my desires, I have my security needs, but I want to pursue them in a sustainable life and society, which is Dharma. And I have a deep faith in divine experiences and liberation. I will pursue all of them. In this simple fourfold way, this complex Purushartha is understood by individuals. Fundamentally, people have an intuitive acceptance that my Kama and Artha are legitimate, but I have to live it according to Dharma. And I know that, the more I anchor on Dharma, the more I anchor on, larger society institutions, community institutions, society institutions, the more it makes my Arthakama healthy. But I have to pursue my more, sacred experiences in parallel. This much everybody kind of intuitively will agree in India, unless some kind of a modern education also erodes this. But largely, our society has retained this simple set of beliefs. But what has happened is, in the past, it is the community life that created and sustained this belief in a very deep manner. Now what has happened is, the communities are breaking, even families are becoming isolated, traditions are kind of fast becoming inaccessible to isolated families and isolated individuals. Modern life is also kind of isolating people from one another. So there is a necessity. Now what has happened is, what was seamlessly flowing from society and community to clans and families, and from that to individual. Now the individual has the burden of recreating all of that all by one's own self, which is becoming quite stressful. So we need a way in which this Purushartha, which people learned without even studying, people intuitively acquired the knowledge of Purushartha through practice, through just by immersion over a long period. Now they have to acquire it theoretically. So now we need ways and means of appreciating this as individuals, and create our personal visions. What was community vision flowing into the person in the past now has to become a personal vision a person carries into the society, and through that builds community. So everybody has. So we will figure out how that is possible. Now, the most fundamental reality in life is actually aspiration, nothing else. It's from the ambition. Even the whole world, if you read Bhagavata, the Vishwa was created by Bhagavan through Ichha. So Ichha is the most fundamental thing, the desire. So we all have aspirations to become something. Modernity is, creating that in us. And why should we become something? To fulfill our desires, to become secure in life, to build a healthy society, to experience divine beauty of life. Now this fourfoldness of becoming something is extremely important. Often 1 and 2 alone is there. We need to stretch it to 3 and 4 as well. So desire, security, a healthy, but everybody has an intuitive appreciation for a healthy society. They know that without a healthy society you cannot even survive. Your security is not possible, and they have a divine, kind of approximate appreciation of divinity. So we need a way to create a Purushartha mindset. As I said, karma is the most foundational reality of life. And even in Bhagavata, we will see that only after certain aspects of desires get created, then the next level of life gets created. So people should read Bhagavata, Skandha 2 and Skandha 3 to understand what is the vision of life that, is there in Indian philosophy. It's easily understandable, unlike a complex Vedanta. So fundamentally, all of us are operating on what are my desires, what are my ambitions, should I achieve in life. But the same thing can be further elevated to the next level of sophistication by asking some artha level questions. How to exist well? Or why do I have these desires? Why do I need to fulfill these desires? How do I fulfill these desires? How to exist well, how to thrive well, how to survive for not just tomorrow but for long. This question itself, will a human being having a 3-year vision to a human being having a 20-year vision, there is significant difference. How should I achieve this? These are artha level questions, which also we kind of don't ask these questions in the initial years of our career, but will when human beings hit 30, then they ask these questions. But the dharma level questions only few ask. Is my pursuit of artha and kama contributing to others or hurting others? Is it hurting my family, community, nation, universe? Or is it hurting somebody else's divine pursuit? This is the ability to apply discretion to say whether I'm contributing through my artha and kama to others or hurting. However, positive questions are also possible. How do I serve others through my artha and kama, through my family, communities, nation, universe? So, being conscious of the negative impact and being proactively working on positive impact through my pursuits is the way you begin to think of society and work towards social institutions, community institutions, state institutions or universal institutions, so on and so forth. So a part of the society graduates into this, but a very few of them will actually think of, what is the should I pursue divine experiences, or is it even necessary to pursue divine experiences? Is it necessary to protect divine places of divinity? You ask my people from Mysore, they will say Chamundi has to be protected. Chamundi Hills has to be protected. They know that they anchor their stability from, a small hill out there. Like that, different people have different sources of divinity that they want to protect. But very few of them have a very clear idea of how much it is necessary to protect, harness, and sustain that in order to have a healthy society. So some of them will graduate into that. Some of them will build institutions of divinity. Some of them will actually completely move into the space of divine life. Thankfully, we have enough always in our nation doing that. But gradually, this burden is falling on the individual to undertake this whole journey. Believe me, if I ask a student in Bangalore, or Delhi or those kind of large cities, if your own pursuit of desires and ambitions, can you tell me how they may be harming others? They cannot say. They don't have an idea that their pursuit of their ambitions and desires can have negative dimension also. I've experimented this many times. Whereas if I go to a small town like Mysore and Coimbatore, there's small cities, they're able to explain in half an hour. They list all ways in which it hurts others. So there is a necessity today to train people in this Purushartha thinking at an early age, because at an impressionable age it's possible to intuitively reflect upon it. But once that impressionable age goes off, then it will hit only after 25 years, after hard experiences in late 30s. So before people get into their late teens, it is necessary for them to appreciate this kind of thought. So to put it in a framework, there is a Purushartha clash that is possible. So on the y-axis you see self, on the x-axis it is others, like could be family, friend, society, nation, universe. So my pursuit of karma can, have either positive impact on others' pursuit of karma, or it may be neutral, or it may be having a negative impact. So it is uttama, madhyama, adhama, as we can see here. Similarly, my pursuit of karma can have a negative impact on or positive impact on somebody else's artha, or it can have a negative, positive, neutral impact on some dharmic institution or pursuit, and similarly on somebody else's pursuit of moksha. So it's perfectly possible that a pursuit of some ambition in a family by somebody has completely taken away space for spiritual pursuits of other family members, and people are not even aware of. That way, there are 16 different possible spaces, and in each of these possible spaces, you know, uh, three different possible contributions are possible. So, I've just put it is, if you apply mathematics, it is 16C3 kind of possibilities. But we don't have to worry about that. Our pursuit in life should be that in each of these spaces we are largely positive. This is not something to be mathematically calculated, but this is something to be conscious of, whether we are through our pursuits to whom we are positively contributing, to whom we are negatively contributing, and to whom we may not be contributing, which is okay, but as long as we are positive, it's good. This is a positive configuration. This is the leadership space. This is how we perceive people in these cells, in these spaces. I am operating in my own dharma space, but through that I'm also contributing to others' artha. Is is one space. This is one leadership space. These are all leadership spaces where people are consistently being in the uttama category. So there are 16 different leadership spaces that are possible, looked at from the lens of Purushartha. Of course, there are 16 different negative spaces also. Most of us, will not operate either in the positive or negative complete, somewhere in between. That's how life is. But our striving intuitively is always towards being in the positive spaces. But knowing these distinguished spaces, that these spaces exist and where we are operating today, that is an important consciousness, and that conscious striving towards going further. We may not operate in this moksha space at all, but as long as we are operating in this space and we are constantly moving up the ladder, you know, this is the space that a grahastha should aspire for. I am consistently performing my own dharma, but I'm contributing to the society's dharma through I'm building the society. This is what we aspire for. Most people aspire for. This layer happens in an exceptional circumstances. So that way, when we are operating in the Arthakama space, there is one kind of leadership Nayaka level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. But we are still in our Arthakama, but we are contributing to society's dharma and others' moksha pursuit. It is stretch. This is not easy because we are stretching beyond our abilities. Sometimes it is risky. A lot of activists become negative when they operate in this space, but several activists also succeed. This is level 5, level 6, level 7, level 8. But this is the space that in which we the right leaders operate in this space, where we are through our dharma, we are contributing to others' desires, others' security, and the society's dharma itself. Of course, I'm pursuing. I've transcended all these things, and I'm pursuing my own divine experiences, and through that I'm contributing to others. This is the most contributing layer. This is the, as I said, this is the bad phase. The Rakshasatva starts from here and reaches a pinnacle somewhere here. So this is the Rakshasa pursuit is here. Rakshasas don't operate here. This is the Rakshasa pursuit. So while, when we say that we are operating at our kama or artha, dharma, moksha, that is also layered. The dharmic way of being anchored on kama in the initial years is that we are also developing the higher order abilities, but we are still not matured. Similarly, when we are operating at our artha level, we are still thinking about society, and dharma at different levels. Initially, we start with rituals, observing rituals, performing rituals. Then we move to the pursuit of design and so on. So there is a graded transition. So at all times, all four pursuits are running in parallel, but at different levels, when you're anchored on something, that takes priority and others kind of gradually evolve. This is how Purushartha operates. As I said, this is one level of leadership, this is the second level of leadership, this is the individual space. But this is the societal man, activistic space. This is the civilization maker space. And this is the renunciate space. Most of us operate here and then try to come here. To some highly ambitious people go here. Some of them succeed and do good things. Some of them actually slip from here and become negative kind of activists. But the good transition is from here to here. It's a complex phase. This requires a lot of work. And this is a highly transformational space. But once you're here, your contribution to the society is very, very high. This happens in a very rare case. Very few people operate at the renunciate levels. So this we can imagine like this. When you're operating in your own arthakama and you're contributing to others' arthakama, you are in evolving apprentice, established apprentice, then evolving professional, established professionals. Most of us spend our life till 30-35 like this. This is a evolving social activist phase. This is early religious activist phase. This is a professional social activist phase, and this is a professional religious activist phase. So this is where people anchor religious institutions as in a functional manner. But this is a community maker space. I'm performing my dharma. I've established my artha, but I'm contributing to others' desires. It's a typical community leader. This is a typical economy leader. This is a socio-political institution maker. This requires a lot of maturity, to contribute to others' dharma through your dharma. This is a religious institution maker who is not a realized soul, but religious institution builder. This is, you have transcended everything and you are a community guru. This is a guru space at 4 different levels. This is how the Purushartha based leadership is operating in India. This is operating, whether we have written it, in management paradigms, management literature or not. Life in India is, subconsciously, quietly anchored like this. People, healthily operate here and then move into this space. And some people operate here, but they're always guided. If one can be a social activist, but if one is under the guidance of somebody at a higher level, in each of these layers, somebody operating here, as long as is under the guidance of somebody at next level, it works in a healthy manner. Only when somebody operating independently in a layer without any higher layer guidance, that is when the problems get created in the society through wrong ambition. So somebody, a socio-political institution maker, has to be operating with the guidance of some social institution guru. Then it works in a good manner. Otherwise, Arthakama goes awry and creates problems. So this is the brief Purushartha framework, a leadership framework. and a way. This is not just leadership framework. This is how one develops one's personal vision through clarity as to where one is operating and where one must go and what is needed for one to transition from one phase of life and into another phase of life. So while what operates as a leadership framework for a society also operates as a personal vision framework for individuals. This is just one framework called Purushartha. Just imagine when we actually go back into this framework and visualize all of this, through different this when as frameworks they evolve into the modern world. What is the power we can unleash from the Indian knowledge systems? So that is all work that needs to be done in the modern paradigm. Whatever has been happening in the civilization for many years, I'm just putting it into a modern framework here. That's all. There's nothing new in this. It is just the articulation. It's alone is slightly modern. That's all about it. So with this, thank you for this opportunity for me to speak about my most favorite concept, Purushartha. I think bringing it back to into the societal mainstream, into the social consciousness, I think will have a significant positive impact and will help revive Indian knowledge systems. And much we have lost, we should be able to gain back through this one thing alone. Thank you very much.
Sir, that was nice. And could you please elaborate on this 6C program?
Yeah,
is
the
champion-
6C program is, I'll come back to this slide.
Yes.
So the 6C program is associated with my designation. This is the IKS Changemakers.
Yes.
Changemakers is we believe that the civilizational resurgence is possible through Indian knowledge systems. So as an organization, INDICA is very keen to enable change makers, and we want change. We have a concept called passion, potential, and purpose. That is, we as an organization, through our IKS Changemakers program, we are keen to support, enable fulfillment of passion, potential, and purpose of those change makers who are using Indian knowledge systems to bring change on the ground. People who are anchoring communities, people who are anchoring arts, people who are creating theories based on Indian knowledge systems in academics, and people who are institution builders. So we recognize three kinds of change makers: domain experts, institution builders, and cultural change, regional cultural change makers. The 6C program is called Champion, Connect, Coach. Contribute, collaborate, celebrate. That is, this is the cycle of support for a change maker. Champion is we platform them, we onboard them on our platform, we run their we give them an opportunity to present themselves and so on. Connect is we have a large lot of their work requires them to be connected to other change makers. We enable those connections in a very structured way. We also create learning opportunities for them. That is the third C, coach. Then we enable, when they are keen on working on something where we agree with them, we contribute to their work. We also collaborate with them sometimes to do common things, and then we champion when they succeed, we bring their success with high visibility in the fraternity. So this is the cycle of passion, potential, purpose, fulfillment of change makers, which is the 6C program. That is the vision of Shri Harikiran Vadlamani, our founder.
That's good, sir.
Shivakumar, I have a basic requirement here.
Yes.
You appreciate our ancient wisdom has to percolate.
Yes.
The ancient society has now totally changed into a
Correct.
virtual mode where we are concentrating on Artha and Kama.
Yes.
In fact, when I recently saw people staying abroad, they are not cared for their parents when they die.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't even come and attend the program. Forget doing any other things. Where we are losing the value because of more intensity towards this. This may happen due to our own mistakes where we have lost our family tradition, where our grandfathers, fathers, everybody will sit together, come, communicate, discuss, come from their experiences. All that is missing in addition to the social beings, social meetings that we used to have, like the religious discourses from whichever community it is towards the positivity it was. And there was that kind of community feeling, which is losing grade. Now, instead of it, it has become a community in a bar or some other. I'm not talking about our legal bar, the real bar where it has become a nuisance. So, in this changed situation, we cannot expect the traditional methods to percolate the knowledge essential for a welfare of a society. In the
Correct.
changed circumstances, can we chip in somewhere there so that people start observing there? Because we are,
So
as
one,
civilization goes, we have become individualized.
actually, this platform, Sambhashane, I will tell you, is one wonderful community creation space. The more we have, my firm belief is that the modern institutions will have to be configured for community life. Actually, I must say that the government institutions are much better at that, because I've seen that post retirement it's only the government institutions which have retained a sense of community. And my father himself was a telecom employee, and his telecom networks have survived till day. 25 years after his retirement, all the connections are still there. Even I am connected to them. Forget about he himself. So the government sector actually did a fairly good job of taking over the burden of the loss of community. And in general, in Mysore, because of our past in Mysore Kingdom era, we have somehow transitioned a little more into a balanced modernity. Whereas where the last 30 years, because of liberalization and because of high dynamic of industry, communities completely withered away. And the only way old communities cannot be brought back, but new communities will have to be formed. Sambhashane is a new community. Similarly, all institutions, modern institutions, will have to develop some kind of a community orientation. That is the only way we can bring this back. There is no way for us to go back and recreate old communities. Gone is gone.
Thank you.
Mr. Shivakumar,
Yes, sir.
you said it correctly. In fact, in our department, we have created this platform called Samprabha. Sambhashane is one of the programs which is being promptly and very sincerely run by Kodandaram and Mr. Vasudev. Of course, as you rightly said, end of the day, the support, mental support comes from the community. And you have put it very nicely, the concept of Purushartha in fact, you are finishing much earlier than the scheduled time, which rarely happens, but you have put it very nicely. It's a very complicated topic, but you have created the consciousness. But I feel in our society in India, particularly at the leaders, this consciousness is very low.
Yes, that's true.
INDICA, have you made any efforts to take it to the doorsteps of our leaders, political institutions, and even corporate leaders?
Yeah.
Is there any effort made to reach out to them?
Political leaders, not so much, I would say. We kind of we have operated in more of a community orientations, or in academics, in non state part of the nation. That's where we operate. But yes, with anything outside of the state, we have been. For example, this presentation I did in Nasin for the probationary officers,
Oh,
and
where in Palasamudram?
not Palasamudram, but in Bangalore, in
Oh,
Jalal.
good.
yeah,
Good.
in Jalahalli.
Okay.
Then I did this for probationary officers in NAAA Simla.
No, when did you do it in Nasin, Jalahalli? Which time?
3 months back. That's where I met Shri Kodandra.
Okay.
Oh,
2 months
okay.
back.
Very nice.
And then last month I went to NAAA Shimla, where we did this for the probationary officers.
Okay. Okay.
In fact, I did a leadership lessons from Itihasa Purana, where they took leadership template of Rama, Krishna, and Vidura, and then they applied it on to solve problems. So, like this, we are beginning to reach out. Last week, I did it in DHTI Delhi. So slowly, we are making these presentations in various institutions and academics and gatherings and all that. And every time there is an intuitive connect, because everybody knows this. It's not something that but it is hidden and deep. It just needs to be brought out to the
Correct.
surface.
Anyway, thank you, making it really conscious.
Thank you.
Anybody would like to interact with our guest Shivakumar sir?
Today we have a lot of guests, new persons. Please, you can ask questions if you have doubts, wherein how to chip in our life towards higher reach. Because the aim is to come out from Artha Kama in a dharmic way and to reach the moksha, which is everybody's requirement, essentially. So towards that, if you have any doubts how to implement or how to understand, you can ask, because I have interacted him very closely with Shivakumar, and I have accidentally captured him immediately, and I'm able to get him here. I am really very happy. Today he was not well, but I still made him come here because of my motivational skill, maybe. He has kept his physical inability and he has excelled in his expressions.
Now I'm
please ask.
completely cured and I have no trace of that fever.
Any other
So as soon
questions,
as I
please ask.
stepped in and saw everybody, I felt so at home.
Actually, sir, the problem in the current society, as per my understanding, is about 30 years back, that is prior to this computerization and prior to this liberalization, all those things, the gap between haves and have-nots was little.
Very little. True.
Like those days in 70s and 80s.
Correct.
A good job, of course, government job was always considered as a very secure job, and you can lead like a ಒಂದು ನದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಹರಿದಂಗೆ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನೆವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೈಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬಾ ಲೋ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಗ್ರಾಜುವಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್. And the head of the family will slowly, out of the earnings, slowly he will save something for the rainy day. And at the end of his service, he will see that his sons and daughters are educated, and daughters are married, and son gets a job. Within ಇಷ್ಟು ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಕೋ ವಾಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ as a very big company those days.
True,
and Myco, they used to get 450 rupees salary, whereas a public sector company was giving only 374 rupees salary. So even though it is 70 rupees difference, more people, okay, state on a difference, I will settle anta. But thanks to this revolution in IT and corporates, the gap between this organized government sector or public sector and the corporates or whatever
Private,
it is, the bridge is too high.
Too high.
So the affordability in the society is one of the reason where I can pay a rent of, let us say, 11,000 rupees for a 2-bedroom house. Whereas another person, the same age group, can pay 30,000 rupees rent.
Correct.
So I am slowly by default, I am
Push down.
I am pushed down. So this gap, because of this economic differences, qualification wise, ability wise, both are the same. But this is one of the reasons for this Artha Kama.
Correct. No, there's no doubt about that. In fact, the
Otherwise,
excess money that came
yes,
into
at the
the
age of 25,
society went more into Arthakama than
Artha Kama,
into
this difference
everything.
in the society contributes to this Artha Kama difference. In one fellow, like at the age of 25, he sees a lot of money. Whereas to reach that 25 or 30,000, I should put 20 years of service
Correct.
in
That's
government with all the
There's no
responsibilities.
doubt about that. I've seen how in
Yeah.
the 90s when it happened, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I'm not blaming an individual, but this is the contributing factor.
it is
The
a con-
between Kama and Artha, because within that limited time, I have to have my own small shelter. I have to do a lot of social responsibilities.
Correct.
But you find, I also find in the society, people telling, I'll work for another 5 years and retire. He'll be only
Correct.
34 years. He says, I'll retire at 39. But you tell me, I'm even now ready to work for another 3-4 years because with my vast experience and all those things. So this, these are the dynamic changes in the society.
Yeah, no doubt
but-
about that. In fact, the
Yeah.
excess money that came,
Exactly.
people did not know where to put it, and they put it in pleasure a lot more
Lot more.
in studies, and now they're all the consequences of that are evident to everybody.
We are
But
all, of
once
course,
you have taken wrong steps, it's very difficult to pull back. So that is where we are right now.
ಒಂಥರ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಅವರ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್
Yeah.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್
Got into this, and they don't even know if there is a way out.
yes, exactly.
Actually, Vasudev,
Sir.
they should have tapped properly and they should have asked them to invest in the dharma and moksha.
Yes.
That way it
Yeah.
would have been beneficial. Earlier, even in a small village, if he is very rich man, Saukar Mane, he will take care of the
Yes.
whole village. That kind of
Correct.
approach would have been
That-
given to these people.
This is
who
one
are
important
economically
thing,
strong.
Yes.
That is
Philanthropy.
the rich men of the past invested into the society a lot.
Philanthropy was the basic thing.
Huge, and they did not even look at it as charity. They looked at it as investment for themselves. Investment in the society was for for even the satisfaction of the individual. So I have seen it in the past that I lived in a place called Davangere, where there were several rich men, but if they walked on the street, nobody would even know that they were that rich. They would be so they would be very common, and they didn't want to splash their wealth everywhere. And they built dharmashalas, they built colleges, schools, and they used all their excess money not for splurging, but
Yes.
for larger societal development, and they
Rather,
looked at it as fulfillment.
Yes, rather I would call that as a CSR, a corporate social responsibility. And I also know
So in
from
fact, I would say that in this slide, where they were is that they all transitioned from the 1, 2, 3, 4 to 9, 10, 11, 12 somewhere faster.
yes,
Right now, what has happened is, at 4 people are stuck, or they move into 5 and 6 and they get stuck.
yes,
That's what
sir.
is happening.
Thank you, sir.
Also, my view on this is,
Sir.
see, we don't have to do the exactly what has happened earlier. But if you look at a lot of youngsters at the young age, build empires,
Yes, yes.
create wealth. In fact, that is also generating a lot of employment for others. I think society is in different way contributing
correct.
back. There are a lot of rich people, but the
Good
kind
things.
of
Yeah.
wealth they create, employment, economic activity, that is helping others. I mean, world is not that bad. It's not going to the wrong side. It's going in the right side.
You have to take
Only
the
thing
good
is
things
people
also.
like Shivakumar and others keep on make them conscious about what you call dharma and good things.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And may I request Bharatraj take 2 minutes and announce this program?
Bharatraj, please. I think he is not there, sir.
Okay, let me make a mention.
Ah,
Bharatraj is coordinating another program called Kavita Sagar. We have just issued the circular.
Sir.
The dates have been given, and I request all the participants to see that they spread this word across, because we want to spot the talent in literary thing, and poems related competitions will be held. Bharataraj will be coordinating. We have just circulated the details. I request everyone to please spread it widely. Okay, thank you.
and everybody start writing something poetry. And next week we have our KG Lakshmi Naranappa, who will be speaking on temples of Tumkur, for which he got his PhD at the late age. After retirement, many years of retirement, he is pursuing PhDs one after the other in India and abroad. One of the book is Tumkur, Temples of Tumkur, which is a research article, and he is going to exchange his experience in the coming week. I request our fraternity to be online here on every Thursday for our Sambhashane.
Thank you.
Vasu, you
Yes,
can
sir. Yes, sir. I
give
will
vote of
propose
thanks and we can.
Yes, sir. Good evening, friends. That was a wonderful session on developing personal vision through Purushartha, which is a very big topic, relevant to today's difference in Artha and Kama, balancing one's personality and inner development, striking a balance between these two. Today's guest speaker, Shivakumar sir, gave us a wonderful insight into this, and it's a very big topic, but he has concisely done everything so beautifully, and even through his PPTs. As you all know, we have this saved video available in our YouTube channel also. Later on at leisure, all the participants and others also who could not come and join us on this webinar, they could also view this talk, because the more you listen, 2-3 times you listen, you may get some more insights, some more ideas also. You can get in touch with us. We can also have some more interactive sessions. And on behalf of the Samprabha Foundation and Sambhashane team and all the participants of our organization, I profusely thank today's guest of honor, GV Shivakumar sir, wishing him all the best. And thank you, sir. Thank you once again. Shubharatri. Sarve
Thank you.
Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you.
me.
Thank you,
And
sir.
thank you for this beautiful platform. I wish this platform a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.